Good evening to all of you. Welcome to our virtual service, Shabbat Shalom. We begin this evening, even though we are in our own homes, with the singing of Hine Matov Umanayim, Shevet Achim Gam Yachad, how good it is for all of us to be together.
Shevet Achim Gam Yachad, Hine Matov Umanayim, Shevet Achim Gam Yachad, Hine Matov, Shevet Achim Gam Yachad, Hine Matov, Shevet Achim Gam Yachad, Hine Matov Umanayim, Shevet Achim Gam Yachad, Hine Matov Umanayim, Shevet Achim Gam Yachad, Hine Matov, la 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 la. Hine Matov, la 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 la. Hine Matov Umanayim, Shevet Achim Gam Yachad, Hine Matov Umanayim, Shevet Achim Gam Yachad.
Over the past few weeks, we've received feedback about how to use the virtual prayer book. If you go to Mishkan Tefillah online, you will see the prayer book, the virtual prayer book, and to turn the pages, you must go into the lower left corner and actually put your cursor there, erase the page numbers that are there, and then put in the page number you want to actually go to. So with that said, we're going to begin Shabbat now with the kindling of the Sabbath lights. The virtual prayer book has the candle lighting service on page 20. Now, if you're using a real prayer book, if you actually have Mishkan Tefillah at home, just add for all of these prayers up to the silent prayer 100 pages. So page 20 virtually, page 120 in the prayer book, and that's the way it will go. So we are now on page 20 in our virtual prayer books. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu Likne shel Shabbat.
Turn now in our virtual prayer books to page 44 for the Chatzi Kaddish, 144 in the actual prayer book.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברך עדותיו ימליך מלכותו, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי כל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם ולעלמי המיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתבהר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתענן ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי קודשה בריחו, להל מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירן בעלמא ואמרו אמן.
On page 46, we rise for the Baruch Hu, the call to worship.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach, Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam vaed.
Page 49, praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim.
Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amecha ata, Amcha ahavta. Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta, otanu limadeta. Shachvenu uvkumenu nasiach bechukecha, v'nismach b'divrei toratecha, uv'mitzvotecha le'olam vaed, ki hem chayenu.
be seated. We continue with the Via Havta on page 54.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך. ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בהם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובחומך וקשרתם להות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work. Whether you are tired or you are rested, let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all of my mitzvot so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai, your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai, your God. Page 57, standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נודעתי lot osef ele, נודעתי lot osef ele, מלכותך ובניך בוקע הים לפני משה. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני עד יעקב וגמלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
We continue on page 60. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace and raise us up, our guardian, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel. For your name's sake, be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and coming to life and to peace evermore. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, v'akolamo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. בני ובן בני ישראל, בני ובן בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים, כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וילפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Prayer invites God's presence to suffuse our spirits, God's will to prevail in our lives. Prayer may not bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city. But prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, rebuild a weakened will. We rise now for Tefillah, page 64 in the virtual prayer books.
Adonai, שפתי תפתח, ופי אגיד תהילתך. ברוך אתה, אדוני, אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואימותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה. האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון גומר חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומשיח ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה הכל אתה רב להושיע. מחכה חיים בחסד, מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומחיה עם אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום נהלוך הסלע. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
You may be seated as we continue on page 73. Disturb us, Adonai, ruffle us from our complacency, make us dissatisfied with the peace of ignorance, the quietude which arises from a shunning of the horror, the defeat, the bitterness and the poverty, physical and spiritual, of humans. Shakas Adonai, deny to us the false Shabbat, which gives us the delusions of satisfaction amid a world of war and hatred. Wake us, O God, and shake us from the sweet and sad poignancies rendered by half-forgotten melodies and rubric prayers of yesteryears. Make us know that the border of the sanctuary is not the border of living, and the walls of your temples are not shelters from the winds of truth, justice, and reality. Disturb us, O God, and vex us. Let not your Shabbat be a day of torpor and slumber. Let it be a time to be stirred and spurred to action. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Adonai Eloheinu, Me'amecha Yisrael, U'tefilatam be'ahava Tamid avodat Yisrael Hamecha
Page 76. We acknowledge with thanks that you are Adonai, our God and the God of our ancestors forever. You are the rock of our lives and the shield of our salvation in every generation. Let us thank you and praise you for our lives which are in your hand, for our souls which are in your care, for your miracles that we experience every day, and for your wondrous deeds and favors at every time of day, evening, morning, and noon. O good one whose mercies never end, O compassionate one whose kindness never fails, we forever put our hope in you. For all these things, O sovereign, let your name be forever praised and blessed. O God, our Redeemer and Helper, let all who live affirm you and praise your name in truth. Blessed are you, Adonai. Your name is goodness, and you are worthy of thanksgiving. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha na'eh lahodot.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Hamcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Hamcha Tasim Leolam. Ki Adon Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. Ki Adon Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov b'necha levarech et Amcha Yisrael bechol et v'chol shah b'shlomecha. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamivarech et amo Yisrael, Bashalom. Before we turn to our prayer for healing, the Misha Berach prayer found in our virtual prayer books on page 271, and of course, as we think all about all those who are ill with COVID-19 and simply ill with other diseases and pray for their healing, I wanted to share a poem written by Howard Richard Debs. And of course, it's apropos because of the situation we find ourselves in. The poem is entitled, "What is Real About a Virtual Sabbath Service?" Our sages tell us when we pray together in one place, there the divine presence dwells. But is there a sanctuary in cyberspace in this pandemic time? When we ask, "Where are you, God?" When we ask, "Do you hear us, God?" Wherever we are, does it matter where we are? If we cannot safely be together, we can find each other in our sense of common bond, reciting the words of our prayers, together lifting our voices in song, together expressing our needs, our fears, our hopes, together wherever we are, Am Yisrael Chai. We turn to page 271 as we join together in singing the Misha Berach prayer with the hope that healing will come to all people speedily. We take a moment now for silent prayer.
Imre fi hegion libi, Adonai Tzuri vekoli, Adonai Tzuri
The story received very little publicity. The Kaufman family of Detroit, owners of Home Med, chartered an El Al jet which landed in Detroit Metro on Sunday afternoon, April 12. There were no passengers. Rather, the aircraft, according to the Detroit Jewish News, was carrying 3.5 million surgical and KN95 protective masks for distribution to Michigan hospitals, senior living facilities, first responders, and other professionals in desperate need of gear to avoid contracting the potentially deadly COVID-19 virus. As the large aircraft touched down, a lone Kaufman texted a picture of the plane with the message, "Welcome to Detroit El Al. Mission accomplished. History in the making." It was history in the making as an El Al jet landed in Detroit. But the exemplary largesse of the Kaufmans is hardly new in Jewish history. Our people and our brethren in Israel have regularly responded to threats that disrupt communal life and personal harmony. Israel immediately took action in Haiti after a terrible earthquake. Israeli medical personnel were in Japan following a devastating earthquake there. Israel helped Indonesia after a tsunami, assisted in this country after Hurricane Katrina, and even offered help to Iran when an earthquake there killed over 500 people. Why does such a small nation, with God knows its fair share of problems, assist other nations, even hostile nations, the moment calamity strikes? 52 years ago, my Hebrew school classmates told me that I lost the bar mitzvah lottery when I was assigned this week's verses from the book of Leviticus dealing with skin afflictions and scaly patches that had to be identified by the high priest. Imagine the despair of the affected individual as he was isolated from the community and required to shout out, "Impurity, impurity," so that others could avoid contact and remain ritually pure. No doubt, he thought his life had come to an end. Separation from family, community, and security. But as I learned a decade later in rabbinical school from a Talmudic text, this announcement of impurity was also a call for mercy, a request for the community to pray for his welfare while he remained in an impure state. The words are different, but the sentiment is the same: to empathize with the pain of others, to be a partner in restoring wholeness, to ensure the safety of the vulnerable, and to protect their dignity. These values are at the foundation of our Jewish tradition. The affected Israelite could not be with the whole community, but the community could not be whole without him. Many of us, confined to our homes, can relate to the ancient Israelite. The loneliness of isolation is difficult, but the Israelite knew that although separated from the community, he was not alone. In fact, the high priest of Israel was required to visit the afflicted individual to provide an exam. But at the same time, the priest was able to bring hope and consolation. Were words of encouragement spoken by the high priest as he was doing the examination? Did he remind the afflicted individuals that they were still part of the community, even though they were forced to be in isolation? The visit by the high priest of Israel, such a prestigious person, is not without significance. If the high priest himself brought comfort and support to others, then how could the ordinary Israelite feel exempt from being supportive and encouraging? Comforting and consoling others is not a recommendation in Judaism. It is a command. We all know that we are required to save a human life. Do we also know that we are required to greet others with a cheerful countenance, to put a smile on the face of others? It is easy to feel helpless at this time when our country and the world are being afflicted by COVID-19. We are so busy coping with our own isolation, looking out for our families, that it is easy, unintentionally, to be indifferent toward others. Not many of us can charter a jet to move medical masks from our factories. We are presently unable to visit patients in the hospital. We cannot socialize with our friends in our homes, but we can still be true to our heritage and history by making others smile. Volunteering to deliver groceries or pick up a prescription for someone puts a smile on their face and ours. Donating to an organization that helps medical workers on the front lines of this virus. picking up your temple directory and calling somebody you don't know and expressing your concern for their well-being as a fellow congregant at this time of isolation. Sponsoring, as so many of you are doing, temple mitzvah meals for friends or for members of our congregation whose lives have been drastically affected by the stalled economy. All of these bring smiles to the faces of others. Perhaps the ancient Israelite in lockdown cried out, "Impure, impure," not simply to warn about his own status, but to remind his community that they too could become impure if they chose indifference and selfishness, if they forgot how to put a smile on the face of someone in need. When COVID-19 will be behind us is uncertain. But thinking about it now, I won the bar mitzvah lottery. For those words from Leviticus have reminded generations of Jews in good times and in times of challenge that we are fortunate to be heirs of a heritage that has worked to make history more humane. When we bring light and cheer to every place where there is darkness and gloom, when we put a smile on the face of everyone who is dejected and lonely, when we properly protect the vulnerable, that is when all of us can proudly say, mission accomplished. Stay well, stay safe. Shabbat shalom to all of you. Once again, thank you to Andy and, of course, Bob for making our service this evening so beautiful. I've mentioned to some of you that we are in the process of trying to present to you some liturgical diversity, as we're not sure how long the sanctuary is going to be empty. I am in the process of putting some of our services, our healing service and our Kabbalat Panim liturgy, into a PDF form, which we can then email to you. You can print that out at home, and then, of course, it will be much easier to follow our services. This, I hope, will be more comfortable and comforting to you, and of course, it will give all of us some diversity in the prayers we are able to offer. And also, just a reminder, if you are not receiving emails from the congregation, if you know of people who say to you, "I'm not getting emails from the temple," please, please let us know so that we can be in touch with you with our many different activities that are offered over the internet. We turn now to our concluding prayers. The Aleinu is found in our virtual prayer book, page 300. Will you please rise?
Shalom, הרים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד.
You may be seated. An introductory prayer before the words of the Kaddish. It is a fearful thing to love what death can touch, a fearful thing to love, hope, dream, to be, and oh, to lose. A thing for fools this, and a holy thing to love. For your life has lived in me, your laugh once lifted me, your word was gift to me. To remember this brings a painful joy. 'Tis a human thing, love, a holy thing to love, what death has touched. At this sacred moment of our Shabbat worship, we think longingly and lovingly of Mickey Behrman, Mary Lou Casey, Elaine Gilberg, Janet Gilberg, Bernice Katz, Anthony Parker, Dolores Shapiro Poneman, and Rabbi Alan Sakobin, all taken from us during recent days and weeks. We name, too, at this time, the anniversary of those who have passed away, as on this Shabbat we recall Madeline C. Brown, Ruth Breslau, Arthur Davis, Alvin Dixon, Alberna Bernie Epstein, Ina Fetterman, Pauline Feit, Ben Fleischer, Sheldon Frankel, Dr. Harold Gross, Beth Rosenberg Herman, Molly Jacobs, Charles Kaminsky, Kalma Karen, Dorothy Klein, Samuel Clivens, Sue Kreinberg, Morris H. Lempert, Sidney Levine, Mark Lawrence Miller, Etta Miller, Mildred Myers, Robert Nassauer, Helen F. Osterman, Henry R. Porras, Hyman A. Posner, Esther H. Powder, Irma Schwartz, Saul Schiff, Mary Schulman, Margie Schur, Sue Spicer, Jeffrey Steinberg, Claire Thal, Clara Thal, Eileen B. Truhaft, Geraldine Wolf Weinstein, Estelle Sissy Webney, Janet Weinman, and Susie Wittenberg. We turn now in our prayer books to page 312 for the words of the Kaddish as we rise to sanctify the name of God. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah b'alma divrach yerutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayei chon uv'yomei chon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael ba'agala avizman kari ve'imru amen. Yeshemei rabba mivarach le'olam olamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yit hadar v'yit alev v'yit halal. Shemei dekud shah barichu. Le'ila min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechamata. Da'amiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Shalama rabba min shamaya v'chayim. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, u'ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, give comfort to all who are bereaved, here and everywhere. As together we say, amen. Our concluding hymn this evening is Ein Kelohenu.
En Kelohenu, en Kadonenu, en Kemalchenu, en Kemoshienu, Michelohenu, Michadonenu, Michemalchenu, Michemoshienu, Nodel Eloheinu, Nodel Adonenu, Nodel Malkeinu, Nodel Moshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu, Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu.
We all join together now in the Kiddush. You can find the Kiddush, page 23, in your virtual prayer book.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei piri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodesho be'ava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron l'maseh v'reshit. Ki hu yom tequila lemikrai kodesh, zecher litziat Mitzrayim. Ki vanu v'acharta, v'yotanu kidashta, mechol hamim, v'shabat koshecha, be'avratzon, hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai, mikadesh HaShabbat. Amen.
L'chaim.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Shabbat Shalom.